Good afternoon. I'm at the allotment on our plot 6A this afternoon, and I'm going to be putting in our Arran Pilot potatoes into this bed just here. It's about 45 centimetres high, and last year we had carrots and parsnips in it, which you may have seen being taken out. So I'm going to put those in. I'm not going to put them in the traditional method because my dad never used to. My dad used to dig a hole and put the potatoes in and then earth up around as they came. So that's the way that I'm going to do them this year. I have done them the traditional way in previous years, but this year that's the way I'm going to do it, and we'll see how it grows. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mark out this bed so that I know exactly where I'm going to plant each of the potatoes, and then I'll show you what I've done when it is all marked up. I hope you can see here that I've set up a grid. I've put markers in and stretched string around, and obviously the same that way and that way and that way. And I'm going to be planting potatoes here, 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 here. So wherever the strings cross, I'm going to put potatoes in. This is 20 centimetres. It doesn't look like it, but it's 20 centimetres from the edge of the raised bed. This is then a 35 centimetre stretch, as is here, and then here again is a 20 centimetre stretch. At the sides I've done again 20 centimetres from the edge. Over here slightly we still have some spring onions in, and I'm going to leave those in because we're going to be eating those before the potatoes actually come through. So what I'm going to do now is just plant where they cross. I'm going to dig a hole which is about 15 centimetres deep and plant a potato in that hole. So let me show you one, and then we'll go from there. These are the potatoes we're sowing today. They have actually been chitting for about 3 weeks, but as you can see, there's not a huge amount of growth coming there. Also, there's a huge difference in size. There's some like this, which are pretty huge. There's a little bit of hole there. And there's some like this, which are really pretty small. So what I'm going to be doing, obviously you could cut this in half and use, this could create two, but actually I need about 21 here, I think. I need 21, so I've got 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I've got 20 potatoes here. So what I'm going to do is one of these I will actually cut in half, and I will sow that in 2 separate holes to give me 21 plantings. So let me just move these to one side, and we'll dig the hole and put one of the potatoes in. What I've actually done, I've put a potato at each of the places where the strings cross. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just going to dig a hole for this. I'm going to put them just over maybe sort of 15 centimeters, so that's the whole length of this. Very light soil here. Putting that right down and then covering it over. I'm going to leave the string in at the moment. The pegs around the side will keep foxes off a little bit. B, I'll actually know when I put fleece over that I've actually covered the right fleece, because I've only got fleece which is about 1 meter wide that I want to put on here. So from here to over there is about 1 meter. So if I just pull you up from there, you can see, I think, that I've put potatoes at all of the points. So I'm now going to put all of those in. Okay, so this is now fully planted up with a potato at each of the corners or each of the areas where the strings cross. And as they grow, I will do the usual thing of putting soil and trenching them. But that's not a job for today. It looks as though rain is coming later, which is going to be good. What I will do, which you may have seen on other areas of the plot, is I tend to put bottles, plastic bottles down. I find that the clanking of them tends to keep foxes and birds off. But here it's more really about foxes. Obviously the birds need netting. You can see over here, if I can zoom in on there, some rather unsuccessful sprouts that we've had this year. There are some on there that are edible, but it hasn't really been a great year for sprouts on this plot. We've got them from other plots. So what we have done is we've let most of these, as you can see, they've been pecked. The one, if I just turn you here, this one here has really been pecked. But we've allowed that to happen because I'd rather that they were having these, which we're not going to be eating, rather than other crops on here like cabbages and things, which we have. However, I will be showing you another bed where I did do a video where there was snow a few weeks ago, where we let some of the birds get into a cabbage run by accident, and they've stripped everything. So apart from some Cavolo Nero, we're going to be taking everything out of that and putting it in here. So anyway, back to the potatoes. All of these cross sections have got potatoes which have been planted 15 centimeters deep, and we will, as I say, just put further soil on top like you do traditional trenching. We'll also put some straw on top because there's quite a lot of videos on YouTube about people growing potatoes in straw, so we might put some straw on top of here. As some of you will have seen previously, this is our garlic bed. We did actually, I took the netting off it about a week ago because I think a fox and a pigeon had had a bit of a fight, and it trampled down some of the garlic. I think you can see in some of these that the leaves have been broken. Not too worried about that because they should be fine, but I felt that if the netting was going to cause more issues than it was solving, it was best to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the string away, and I'm just going to give this bed a very quick weed. One thing that we all, I think, know is that onions and garlic do not like to be crowded at all, and they don't like weeds. So I'm going to take those out. Most of these are now about maybe 12-14 inches high, and some of the garlic, the ones over here along the end here, are actually from Wilko this year. The rest of them are actually garlic from our own harvest last year, which was sown from a purchase at Wilko the previous year. So it's interesting that we do notice, or I do notice, that some of the stems here are literally almost an inch across at the moment. The other ones that we got from Wilko this year, they're doing well, but they are clearly a bit narrower in the stem, but they're as high as the other lot. Anyway, I'm just going to let the camera run and just tidy this bed up a bit. Right, so that's the bed tidied up. Quite happy with that. I will do strimming, maybe not today, but maybe on Good Friday I'll do strimming. Over here, I can move you. We do have some. Here we have some bluebells coming up. In fact, there's some bluebells you can see along the side as well as grass there. There does seem to be quite a few bluebells on this site, but I'm not too bothered about them. Just going to let them flower, and bit by bit they will weaken down as we pull them. There were some bluebells coming up here and here, but I have actually taken those out because we don't want them actually in the growing area. Anyway, there we are. That's it for today. I will see you soon. Bye.